Close your eyes and imagine yourself as a manager of a prestigious company. You are successfully collaborating with your colleagues all over the world. Everyone respects you, but something's wrong. Your employees stop showing up at their workplace. Every day someone's missing, productivity goes down, and workers complain at each other. Sounds unrealistic, doesn't it? But we will share a real story with you. My aunt had been working in the call center of Mars company, and one day she got promoted to the supervisor. And when she started to perform this duty, she understood one problem. To give an overview of the company, Mars as an employer provides a really good social package. Mars offers really good conditions for its employees, and one of the conditions is when an employee gets sick, the company covers it and pays 100% of his illness. So the problem is some people may simulate and just pretend that they're ill and not go to work because they are paid. So no motivation for people who don't want to go to work, who are lazy probably, or have some personal problems and want to solve them as quick as possible. So, it's very easy to go to a doctor and say, oh, I have a temperature and I couldn't sleep, so I think I'm getting ill. It's important to mention that Mars employees go to the private medical office, not the general clinic, but to the private establishment. And the doctors here were very, very loyal. They could open you and sick leave and every your demand. Not a lot of people abuse this opportunity, of course, but there were at least 2 people at my aunt's office that were constant simulators. And when my aunt was discussing this problem with other supervisors, what they can do about this, they didn't find any solution, because you can't just come to a person and say, don't cheat. And others also suffer because this person who is cheating, he's doing his part of the work. And if he's not here, well, someone has to fulfill it instead. So it's just an additional burden for other people.
This story was pretty controversial and interesting to think about. Definitely, we started to discuss changes that we could bring to the company, and after some time, we came up with an idea. The problem with unlimited sick leaves is in lack of control. Authorities can never be fully aware if an employee does not feel good or just wants to relax at home. By and large, our idea is rather simple. We consider limiting full paid sick leaves to be the best solution for companies with similar issues. Like the company covers 100% for a certain amount of days. For example, not more than 20 days a year. And if this amount is exceeded, well, now the conditions change. We put into considerations only situations when an employee is ill. Other circumstances need yet to be discussed. But how exactly to implement this idea? We started our research with observing other Belarusian and international companies to see if they are similar to Mars. For example, Wargaming has unlimited sick leaves as well. Its employees can have full compensation for the missed days. One of them admits that some of his co-workers really misuse this opportunity. On the other hand, Playtika employee confesses that their limit is 2 weeks or 14 full paid days per year. She says that in comparison with her previous company, where no limit was used, the productivity is much bigger. EPAM provides only 7 full paid days of sick leaves a year, but there is an opportunity to work from home if you are not feeling well. Moreover, some companies implement not only limited full paid days of sick leaves, but also sick days that employees can spend at home without bringing official documents. Usually, this number is up to 5. We consider this to be a good idea as well, but then the number of full paid sick days has to be reduced.
So we have already told you about how successful our idea is, but let's go deeper. We'll name the main benefits that limited sick leaves can bring to your company. Firstly, it's a great way to motivate your employees. We all know that salary is usually the biggest motivator when it comes to work. If a subordinate knows that he doesn't get a full compensation for the missed days, he won't use sick leaves for nothing. However, every employee has a right to stay at home when he's ill, and that's when the limited number of sick days is needed. Eventually, you'll have both motivated and satisfied workers.
Secondly, every employee will have his fair and usual amount of tasks. It's always so unfair when people are ought to do extra work because of their irresponsible coworkers. Finally, it will allow the company for salary deductions for employees who abuse this privilege. So, by creating a limited sick leaves policy, you protect yourself and your company from employees who really overuse their sick time.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.